Are we rolling?
Yep.
What a freaking bummer, man. Look at all this rain out there.
I know.
Or is it even worth doing the dang podcast now?
We actually have to take a delay, so we'll do it in just a second. We gotta wait. Hold on.
Okay, hold on. Let's just wait and listen to it for a bit, because it is kind of soothing if when you get past the bummer part of it.
Welcome to the F1 Side Pod. We hope you didn't fall asleep while listening to the soothing rain sounds. It's the Japanese Grand Prix. We had a rain delay, much like they did. But I'm Cody.
I'm Noah.
And I'm Paul.
We were off last week. We had some stuff that had to be taken care of, but we're back now. Japan happened for a whole 45 minutes of actual race time. But we have Verstappen P1, Perez P2, Leclerc P3, Ocon P4, Hamilton P5. I don't know, what's the biggest news from the race yesterday, do you think?
Well,
We had a 1-2 finish on Red Bull.
Yeah. Mick
I
Schumacher
saw
did
Mick
good.
Schumacher was in second place for a bit.
Yeah.
No, he didn't end up finishing good. Did he?
Alpine.
No, he didn't. He was 17th.
No, yeah.
Alpine was looking really good.
Yeah,
But Mick Schumacher was in second place for like a couple of laps.
yeah, because they didn't want to take his wets off and had to, and then it really screwed him over. But
That happens to me. Sometimes I come in from the rain and I'm so tired I don't want to take my wets off, but
Yeah.
like I'm gonna make a mess if I don't.
Oh.
So I do it.
wait, okay, you know what else happened yesterday? Max Verstappen's world champion now.
Of
That's what? It
what?
was. Yeah.
Oh, of racing?
Of forever, yeah. He's
Yep.
of racing.
Oh. Well, son of
Yeah.
a gun.
A partridge in a pear tree.
A partridge in a pear tree, indeed, Max Verstappen. So congrats, Verstappen has been absolutely dominant this season. He won by almost 28 seconds in 28 laps in wets, and 2 of those were already
Yeah.
done before the delay.
I mean, he's
So
a good
26
wet
laps.
driver.
Yeah, I don't
He's a
like. I don't
good
like the way
wet
that sounded.
driver.
It is.
Yeah, I don't like that. But so you guys watched it recorded. I stayed up and watched it from 1 to 5 a.m.
I think I thank Zeus that I did not stay up to watch this race. Like
Dumb.
oh god.
All right, so that was the laugh break. Yeah, no, I did, and it was basically the sunken cost fallacy where I was like,
I've already
"Listen,
given up this
I've
much
stayed up
time."
for 3 hours.
Yeah.
I'll at least see this race to the end here."
Yeah.
But once it actually got going for those 45 minutes, good racing. Because, I mean, you had different strategies going on. Obviously, the wets changed things up. Hamilton just couldn't get past Ocon to save his life. And, I mean,
Which
yeah.
was, I really enjoy that.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. They kept going back
Right.
to, oh, Hamilton's going to try again. And then he doesn't. And it's like, okay, well.
It was a good fight between Perez and
Leclerc.
Leclerc. Honestly, I thought
that last lap he was gonna get him. Like it was
Yeah,
almost I think it was like the second to last quarter. I was like, oh my god, he did! No, he didn't.
Yeah,
the one spot that he there was a little bit of a controversial ending where Leclerc went off track and took a 5-second penalty, but weirdly, I don't think that was the spot he was about to get past.
No.
But he and then he ends up giving it up what he fought for like
Ever.
10 laps
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Like, and he just gives it up over such a stupid mistake.
Yeah. And I don't know that it was his fault. 'Cause, I mean, in the
Right.
slow-mo, like, he was trying to turn. It just... I mean, it happened. What sucks is it happens
Yeah,
at
mistake
the
is
last
a little
turn.
harsh.
But I mean, it is what it is, and I mean, yeah, Verstappen's a champion, and Ferrari, maybe they do better next year. I hope they do, because they were early on. Like, you remember the first 2 races that Verstappen DNF'd, and we were like, oh man, Ferrari's got the car. They've got the driver. They've got the strategy.
I know. I was worried for Red Bull at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And now none of that matters.
No. Well, they're not constructors champs yet.
Not
though.
yet. No.
So
they still have.
At least we got that going for the rest of the season.
Yeah. So there will still be. I don't know how.
And that
has to work out. But yeah.
It sucks too. I was talking to you earlier about that. It was kind of. You knew it was going to happen by the end of the season. He was going to be world champion, but it's like his second title in a row that's kind of been on a technicality. Like it's not been a nice, clean.
Well, and he hasn't gotten the full celebration moment.
Right,
like,
and
he kind of got
too.
it, but then I think everybody was worried.
It was
something.
an interesting TV moment though, like
Yeah.
it being announced like right after his interview about like, well, maybe next in Austin you'll get it.
Right. I
then
was
they're
kind
like,
of
"Come back over
excited
here."
that he would
And then
get
like,
it
wait,
in
wait, wait.
Austin. Like I was hoping Leclerc would get second so that he could get the world championship in Austin.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I thought it was cool. I mean, I wish it was a clean get, but I thought it was cool since Red Bull and Honda are partner that they won world championship in
yeah, that's cool too.
In
Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been really cool if it was like champion and sealed the constructors. Like,
Yeah.
that'd have been pretty cool.
Also, just while we're talking about the afterwards moments, whatever. I don't know if you guys watched the cool down room after the race.
Oh, I didn't.
Okay. Well, so Max and Perez are talking a little bit. Leclerc comes in talking a little bit. There's a door off to the side of the cool down room that says "World Champions Only," and they're like, "Max, you can come in here."
And
he
then
steps
Lewis
in.
Hamilton.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton beats him up inside there. No, it's a room with a large screen and a large red like chair, like throne, whatever, with like furs over it for him to sit in, like he's the king or whatever. He sits in it, and it's just the TV screen is just like the promo video of him. And so it's just shots of him over and over again, just like in promo video.
And he's just watching that.
And
in a
he's
big
just
chair?
sitting, he's just kind of sitting in there awkwardly. And then he goes, "It's kind of lonely in here," and gets out and goes back to the other guys and hangs out. And I was like, I get
really
that.
awkward.
I was like, I get that it's like kind of a cool picture for a second, but like you're putting him in a room by himself to just sit there
And
watch himself.
That's really fucking awkward.
It was so weird. I was like, this is fucking weird. And it was also like 4 a.m. and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, is this
am I
as dumb as
Am I, am I having a dream?
Yeah.
I
like,
Am
is
I
this as dumb as I
hallucinating?
think it is?
think I fell asleep.
Yeah. But it was very weird. You can go back and watch it. But back to the racing stuff. Vettel, like I told you guys just a second ago, those 2 laps that they tried to run in the rain. When I saw that he had spun out, I out loud went, "Oh no!" Because he was so excited to race here. Has even said after he retires, he was like, "I would come back and just race at this track if they'd have me." So yeah.
I think they brought it up during the long ass red flag, but I'm pretty sure they gave the teams the option of what tires to start on.
Yes.
And they all start on inners because why wouldn't you, just to have that advantage, like potential advantage?
Yeah.
But it was quite obvious that inners were not
Yeah.
the right tire. But I mean, no team's gonna be like, I'm gonna go on wets and make that and then make
Yeah.
that mistake
And then drop back and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like a point of discussion, was like, shouldn't the FIA, like, if they know that it's that freaking wet, like, require
Them to start on
them to
wets.
start on wets?
Yeah. Because that's
So
what
you
a
don't
lot of
have
people,
that happen?
Yeah.
And you
a
don't
lot
have to
of
like
people are
make
upset about it.
a really risky call about
Yeah.
that.
Right.
Because like
Yeah.
Sainz wrecked out. Vettel spun. Albon was out, but that was technical issues. That wasn't, a spin or anything.
Yeah.
He had
Yeah.
engine problems, which, man, engine problems on lap 1, that's really something I feel like you should not
Well,
have.
they were having issues all weekend, though.
Yeah.
Or no, that was with their brakes, though, during
that was Alpha Tauri, not Williams.
Alpha Town. Wow.
Yeah, 'cause I said Albon.
Albon, yep.
Yep. But yeah, I mean the first couple laps was drama everywhere because like they'd go to a shot and you wouldn't be able to see past
my
second
gosh.
place. It was nuts. And I
Yeah.
could and that's
Yeah, there
from a
was no
TV shot.
need for any of those teams to have intermediate zone.
Yeah. But so then, it takes forever. There's a restart. Everybody starts on wets this time. And immediately Latifi and Vettel pit for inters because it's now dried off enough that they can do that. And turns out to be the right call. Everybody slowly goes to that, but like Vettel ends up in 6th, Latifi in 9th. He's not 21st in the standings anymore. Him and Nick DeVries have the same amount of points.
He earned it.
Good job.
No.
And so, I mean, it turns out to be the right call, but then the person who made, or the team who made the wrong call was Haas with Mick Schumacher, who, like we'd said before, was in 2nd for, I don't know, a lap, 2 laps maybe?
I would say that,
And I felt
in my
bad.
opinion, I don't think they made the wrong call necessarily. I think they just made the only call that was worth anything to them.
I think they didn't pit early enough, so then they were like, they said to him, they were like, we're going to wait for a safety car.
Yeah.
And no one else like even spun basically the whole
Right,
rest
yeah.
of the race.
Yeah.
And so then it's like he just kept dropping back, and then they're like, well, I guess we got to pit for
I think it
inners
was
now.
very presumptuous to assume there'd be a safety car whenever it was drying up. But as far as like, you know, what team they're on, like if their car's in 2nd place, like you might as well do anything not to give it up. And if you're like, if it's either, to me, it's either risk or not risk, but hope for a safety car or just go back out of the points.
Yeah.
Like it's either like, you know, you're probably going to get out of the points anyway. So it's like, well, up here we have a chance if we keep you out that we get a safety car and we get to stay. But
Yeah.
I
get
think
was
that
better, yeah.
I think they knew basically it was like we either pitch you and you're out of the points or we pitch you later and you're out of the points.
Yeah. So I mean that sucked. It made me feel bad for Mick, but
Yeah.
you know, is what it is.
It's pretty cool though that he got to be in 2nd place for a bit.
Yeah. And then Alonso did the late pit for new enters because those things were apparently wearing out super fast. And he drops back to, I think it was like 11th and pushes all the way back up to 7th and actually finished 0.011 seconds behind Vettel after coming up from like 11th to 7th in like 4 laps, I think, or something. He was gaining, at one point, he was gaining 5 seconds a lap on people in front of him. That's just wild. But I guess that's what Fernando Alonso does. But yeah, I mean, I wish we could have seen more racing, obviously. I wish we could have seen dry racing because I think Suzuka is like a super fun track for all that. But instead, I stayed up for 3 hours.
Yeah. 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours listening to rain and people talking about rain.
Well, who was your driver of the day in this rainy mess?
Man, it's hard to not say Verstappen with how much he absolutely just demolished the restart. But I'll put forward Esteban Ocon for consistently holding off Hamilton for like 20 laps.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because, I mean, you know, they, I think, have a faster car in the straights, and that was the big issue. But, I mean, you can't make a mistake when they're that close behind you for 20 or so laps. So that'll be who I put forward for consideration. But
I've been hesitant to give it to Verstappen, like just because it's kind of an obvious choice for most of the season and stuff. But I think today I would give it to him because I win him by like nearly 30 seconds, and then in a wet race and getting his championship in that race, I think that I would give it to him today, and that's my pick.
Yeah, I like what Cody said. It'd be nice to say Verstappen, but it was kind of a given that
yeah,
he was at least going to be. I mean, I assumed he would be first just based on everything this weekend,
based
but
on his life.
based on his life, yeah. But yeah, I like the Ocon.
And also, I guess I'll just throw out Vettel because when he pitted that first lap, they weren't sure if the inters were going to work, but he dropped back to 17th and finished 6th.
Oh, that's pretty good, actually. I
So,
didn't think of that.
Yeah, I mean, it was partially because then other people started losing time and then pitting and all that stuff. But, just to put somebody else out there, and because he loves this track so much. He mentioned his helmet was themed for this track. He, in Japanese, over the radio, said thank you to the people.
He said,
Like,
"Thank you very much, Mr. Roboto."
No, but he did say.
He said, "Domo arigato."
I think so. I think he said that. No, he said arigato gozaimasu or whatever, which I only know because I have watched anime before. But yeah, so those are, I think, the three: Verstappen, who destroyed the grid, Ocon, who defended for like 20 laps against Hamilton, or Vettel, who worked himself up 17th to 6th.
Now you got me kind of wanting Vettel because, I mean, he had a pretty strong finish, and he's clearly in love with, romantically in love with this track.
Yeah,
And
he really likes this track.
His helmet, by the way, I don't know if you saw it. They were talking about it in one of the practices. His helmet was based off of the helmet he gets is Japanese designed. He then
Did he have the cherry blossom helmet?
no, that was
That
like
was-
Schumacher.
Yeah, that was Schumacher. That was really cool looking.
It looked like the box that his helmets come in, that say like Mr. Sebastian Vettel, whatever, like the Japanese boxes. His helmet looks like the boxes his helmet comes in.
Nice.
So it was a very unique decision there. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was interesting, so I wanted to say it. But
that's cool.
so who gets our F1 side pod headband that we've got right here?
What do you think, Paul? Who'd you pick?
For
Ocon?
yeah,
I'll let you guys get it, and I'll say Ocon as well.
Okay. So we're going to give it to Esteban Ocon. So congrats holding back Lewis Hamilton. Now you get the F1 branded, F1 side pod branded headband to also hold back your hair from your eyes. So that's our weekend warrior, if you will, / driver of the day. Yeah, so I guess we'll head to break and talk about F1 coming to America. Okay, so during the break,
there's a dog in your face.
there's a dog in my face.
And we
Right
have
next
no
to the
idea
mic.
where he's come from.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of just showed up here.
Yeah. So during the break, this is where we would put ads if we got people who were willing to give us money to hawk their their services or goods. So we have to show our prowess at, doing ads for people and really convincing people to buy the things.
Right.
So what are we gonna try to just show our real just raw ability with this week?
I'll let the cat out of the bag here. But I did make this dog appear. I did bring this dog that we have with us now.
You
for
brought
this
him from your
purpose.
house?
I brought this dog. No, but I brought him. And
Where'd you bring him from?
I found him. I was on
Where?
my way in here, and I crossed paths with him, and I thought this is gonna be perfect for our ad break.
Noah,
Yeah.
Noah, is this dog stolen?
No,
Okay.
he is just here, and if he leaves, he can leave. That's basically what I'm
So
trying to
he's
say.
are we
free to
gonna
leave.
sell this
He's
dog?
free to leave whenever he wants.
Are we gonna sell this dog back to the family that you took it from?
For money? No.
Okay.
No.
I mean, it's
no.
money.
Yeah, it's money. I would take it, but he can leave whenever he wants. It's basically to make us seem more endearing to someone trying to buy it. Like, you can say no to us, and boy howdy, have people said no. But you can't say no to this dog, and this dog's sweet innocent eyes. So I figure today he could read an ad for us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so if you don't mind, take it away, Pubbers. Can you get the mic closer to him? Okay, yeah. And
Okay,
what
well,
was
that
that
was-
for?
I think it was it Nature Box?
Nature Box.
Is that company still a
A
thing?
better way to cook. Perfect. And you can send our check in the mail whenever you like.
We would also like to formally apologize for what we just did to your
To the family.
eardrums.
your eardrums, your car speakers, your headphones, any listening device that you've ever used in your life. We would like to apologize for what just happened there.
If we get money, though, I'm not apologizing.
Yeah. No, if we get money for it, then
All right. Well, you're free to go, dog. Run back to your family or wherever you came from.
Oh, okay.
Cody, you said something that hurt my feelings. You said that was the dumbest ad break we've ever done. And I put so much time and thought in the weeks leading up to these episodes, or the week leading up to these episodes. I think, how am I going to support my boys and make us some money here? And it's to hear that you think it's dumb, it hurts me to my very core because of all the planning and thought.
Well, you know what? I'll just say, if anybody is going to sponsor us, we won't have a dog read your ad copy next time. But nobody
fair.
actually paid for that, so
That's fair.
Anyways, so in I think 2 weeks' time, we're F1's coming to America.
Nice.
And we've got the we're at COTA, we're in Austin, and it's the USGP. And I'm pretty excited about it. I do wish Verstappen would have won here and then done a bunch of cool spins.
Because he's American.
Yeah, because he's American.
I say he does his cool spins when he comes here. Like,
Anyways,
he didn't get to do
he
them
should
in
just
Japan,
do it at every
his
one.
spins.
He should
You
end
know
every
what?
race that way.
He should do his cool spins not in an F1 car, but like a Dodge Hellcat.
Mini Cooper.
See,
oh,
I thought you were
Yeah.
going to say.
Dodge Hellcat.
I thought you were going to say the
That would be
official,
cool.
Right.
the official vehicle of America, which is one of those scooters that you ride in Walmart with the basket on the front of it.
But I don't know if you can do a burnout on one of those.
He could find out. He could probably win a race in one of those.
So what do we know about this Austin Grand
What do we
Prix?
know about
What do we
America?
What do we know about it? So
everybody loves America, and so do we.
Not as much as Americans, though.
So it's 56 laps. So it's about the same as Suzuka. It's 53, or it would have been, I guess. But it's
Instead, it was 40 minutes. 45
Instead
minutes.
it was a 45-minute race.
Yeah.
But it's got, similar to Suzuka, it's got kind of what, Suzuka has the S's, and this has a good portion of like kind of the S's like back and forth.
Not really. Austin only has one S in it.
Get the fuck out of my house.
But I guess Suzuka only had one S too.
No. Did you say Suzuka has one S?
Yeah, because there's a Z in there, wasn't there?
There's two S's before the Z.
Oh.
Isn't there?
Oh shit! Now we got to spell
Now we're
stuff.
gonna look really dumb.
Why did we
Anyway,
start talking about spelling?
Austin is a great race.
Yes.
I'm pretty excited for it. I kind of am. I was a little bit bummed.
There's
that-
one S in Suzuka.
Now who's a
What's
Paul?
the- is it-
Paul, hit the dumbass button.
Idiot.
Dumbass.
Oh dang! What was I spelling? Suzuka.
Yeah.
Suzuka.
Suzuka.
You know-
Suzuka. That's it.
I was the one that looked like the idiot, and then because I thought there was two, and then you had to agree with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I brought you into my idiot
Thank
zone.
you. I should have just stayed over here on,
should've
my own,
stayed.
on the Papa Son where I belong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Austin. I think that, I was bummed that Verstappen didn't, he went in and got his championship when we were in Japan.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So he doesn't get to get it over in Austin.
He's a
But
partridge in a pear tree.
it's kind of but it's kind of an interesting part of the season. The championship's been decided. Constructor's not been decided yet.
But we all know.
We all
it's-
know.
it's on its
but, it could make for an interesting, last part of the season because you kind of already, I think you already have teams looking ahead to the next season
yeah.
at this
Oh,
point. So it's kind of an interesting, but indeed a lame duck period to the season now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it kind of
Yeah.
it kind of leads for more risks, I guess, which could potentially mix up the grid a little bit more. Because some people are like, well, hey, let's just try this, let's see how it goes, whatever. But then you also have the battle for the midfield. Like you've got McLaren and Alpine basically fighting for fourth place. Right now, Alpine's ahead by 13 points. So you've got, McLaren trying to get that extra money, Alpine trying to keep the money, and then you've got Alfa Romeo and Aston Martin and Haas and AlphaTauri all within like 20 points of each other down towards the bottom.
Yeah, to be fair, there's definitely, this season's not over for several teams that are really fighting for those last points. So I think
Haas and AlphaTauri are tied right now in the constructors. So
I think AlphaTauri. Well, I don't know. That'd be interesting to see.
yeah,
That's weird. That's weird to hear, though.
it is. Yeah, because you didn't think AlphaTauri was down that far, but their car has been a real stinker this year.
And I think that like Haas, those teams at the bottom and stuff, sometimes it's kind of hard to tell on the whole how they're doing because their successes are so sporadic and spread far apart that you look at when you do see the numbers towards the end of the season, it's like, I guess they did get a few more points than I remember.
Yeah, and it's like, Haas got a lot at the beginning, but, their big success would be getting like 2 points.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, a great day for Haas. They got 2 points, or 3 points.
And what's impressive is the Alpines as high as they are.
Oh, yeah, being fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they've had a really good car, and that's why I'm excited for what's been announced this week was that Gasly is officially going to Alpine. Him and Ocon, both French drivers with a French team based in France, and they hate each other, and I'm very excited about that.
You know how French people do.
Yeah, you know how French people hate each other. And then to replace Gasly at AlphaTauri, Nick DeVries, one drive in an F1 car, got him a spot for next year.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's all it takes for a lot of them. Or sometimes, like George Russell had one really.
And Latifi's #1 rival this season.
Yeah, the guy who raced once.
But George Russell got one shot in the Mercedes, and then
They're like,
boom,
That's
he's in the Mercedes.
that's
Like,
true.
Yeah.
He could have raced 1,000 times at Williams, and I don't think that it would have
Done as much as
that one race.
Yeah.
Well, kind of the same with Albon a little bit. He had those 2 years.
Those fill-in races are like career makers for a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. If you don't do good, and I think maybe that's why people show up so much is if you don't do good, people are like, oh, well, they're not used to this car. There's reasons. But if you do good, all the more credit to you for jumping in with something you're unfamiliar with and kicking ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's still plenty to race for. And there's still, obviously some drivers are in heated competitions. Latifi and DeVries are tied right now, so he's trying to break that tie. So dumb. And then
Hope he can do it.
yeah. Leclerc is actually 1 point behind Sergio Perez, so he's trying not to, get third in the championship. There's a lot of close races with specific drivers. And then obviously still the constructors is to play for and, midfield and stuff.
I think honestly what you're going to see just for this part of the season, because, I joke that it's like the lame duck, but what you're really going to see is Max Verstappen's going to be way out in front and the cameras are not going to be on him.
Oh yeah, you're never going to see him again.
So you're really not going to see him anymore, but what you are going to see you're going to see Leclerc and Perez constantly. You're going to see
and you won't see him because he's going to be so far ahead of the rest of the
right.
Yeah. You'll see him when he comes up on the
when he comes up on Latifi.
When he walks up on the podium.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, you'll see him at the start of the race, and you'll see him when he walks up on the podium.
Well, even this race, after the restart, I don't think you saw Verstappen until he crossed the finish line.
Yeah, they didn't pay
because
any
he
attention.
wasn't fighting. He wasn't in any It was just he's out there.
Even more so now though, just that his
that it's already done. Yeah.
Over. So.
Yeah. So I guess
there were a couple races like that this season though, where he just took off, and they're just they didn't cover anything of who was in first.
Right.
Which that's happened.
It's happened before, but it's just it happened a few times with him.
Yeah.
This season.
Because he's just left people.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then after the race, Hamilton would be like, "Oh, people didn't like watching that." It's like, no, we liked watching just because we didn't watch the person in first place. That's fine. You've had your 8 years or whatever, 7 years of running off and leaving everybody and not being on camera. Let's calm down here.
Yeah, no kidding. He's done that just as much as anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're using all the sound effects
Yeah.
this week, baby. But so, I mean, it's kind of harder to predict now, but do we want to try to see who's going to be our
Second place.
our horse clopping over the hill and our dark horse
Wait,
driver
what do you
for
mean?
next week?
Oh.
Dark horse driver.
Smooth.
Nice. So basically, who do we think is going to show out, making bold predictions or whatever? And also, we actually did make a bet for the first time on Dark Horse Drivers a few weeks ago that we would all try Vegemite if any of us were wrong, and we were all wrong. We all tried Vegemite. So,
It tastes worse than it smells.
yes,
Yeah,
and it
does.
smells bad.
It does taste like toe fungus.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, and then just the fact that it's like
thick.
it's thick like shoe polish,
Yeah.
So it
just
doesn't come out of your
stays
mouth.
In your
Yeah.
mouth. Yeah.
The video is on at F1 side pod on Twitter. We posted it up there if you want to laugh at us or whatever. But yeah, immediately I took a bite and it flipped
Laugh
over and
with
landed
us,
on my
not
tongue.
at us,
Yeah,
please.
it flipped over onto my tongue and stuck to it, and it was just repulsive.
Disgusting
So
juice.
we're gonna try to never make bets again unless the video goes well, and even then probably not. But so who do we think is going to show out in Austin in 2 weeks?
Haas.
I
It's
say
their home-
Haas.
it's their home
as
race.
Well.
Right.
It's home
Just
turf.
as a team.
It's home turf. Let's go. They got it.
Let's go
It's
Haas.
gonna be Haas.
Let's yay Kevin, go Kevin.
Yeah,
I'm
Kevin.
hot for Haas right
Hot
now.
for Haas. I agree. I think they're gonna get points, and I'd stake my life's fortune on it.
I'll take it.
I'll take you on that.
I'll take
bet.
your life's fortune.
Yeah.
And hold on,
I don't-
let me
All
just-
$200.
Side note that I'm not giving away my fortune.
Oh well, I don't want to.
Quit calling it a fortune. It's just a couple $100.
The fortune is the friends I made along the way.
The day estate.
Yeah.
The fortune's the friends I made.
He calls
along
it the
way. That's
Fortune
what you-
500 because it's only $500.
It's $500. Nice.
So looking at last year's results, Ricardo actually finished in 5th at COTA last year, and I didn't remember that at
I actually
all.
do remember him doing well at last year. Weirdly.
He loves the race. One of the things I'm most excited about when Austin comes up is Ricardo's going to have goofy ass facial hair and do a terrible American accent in
Yeah.
all of his interviews.
Maybe-
he's going to dress like a cowboy.
I like
Maybe
that.
Ricardo we could take a call from Ricardo next week.
Yeah.
Or, not next week, but that.
Yeah, at the next show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next show.
We'll see if we can line it up.
It'd be easiest for him to talk to us because he'll be doing his American accent.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll understand him.
Yeah.
So who do we think is going to be dark horse predictions of who's going to have a good weekend in America?
Haas.
Haas. just
What's
in
your
general.
prediction for Haas?
Kevin.
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 Okay, that's a good prediction.
Kevin for Haas.
Kevin for Haas. Yay, Kevin. Go, Kevin.
Yeah.
I say he's been kind of up on the horse again, so to speak. So maybe Charles Leclerc for second place. That'd be my dark horse.
He got 4th last year, and that Ferrari wasn't nearly as fast.
Yeah.
I predict that his car isn't going to finish.
That's
Wow.
your dark horse prediction?
Well, I've had 3 so far, so
Something will stick, and then he'll go.
and then I'll go with that, and I'll get that $500.
Oh, damn.
I'm gonna go with Daniel Ricciardo. I think he's gonna be feeling good. Now I'm fully expecting, as I say this, that because I've said it, he's gonna finish in like 15th or something.
I can only
But
hope so.
He's gonna be feeling good. He basically is probably gonna be a reserve driver next year, so might as well get all the stuff he can right now.
I picked him up as a reserve driver on my F1 manager game.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, here's the thing: if he's a reserve driver for any team, that team has
My
the best.
team's the one.
That team
he
has the
should be.
best reserve driver.
Yeah.
Like, you've got a race winner.
I
as
had
your
all
reserve
this
driver.
money and I just didn't know what to spend it on.
So you spent it on an Australian guy.
Yeah, so I spent it on an Australian for my reserve driver for my team.
But yeah, so I'll say Daniel Ricciardo top 6. That's almost predicting that one of the top 3 cars is going to wreck out in that case. But I'm going to say Ricciardo top 6.
What if it's raining in Texas, though?
Oh God, I hope not. I don't want
think
3
it
wet
will.
races in a row.
Yeah, I don't think it will. I don't remember if Austin's had rain before when I watched it. Like, how long have they been racing there since? Was it like 2016 or something like that?
Let me.
Or was it
do-
earlier?
I
think
like
it's
that
been
they're.
earlier. First Grand Prix 2012.
Oh,
like-
okay, yeah, okay.
I like the what would you call that? The press box or yeah
Up high.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like that it looks like a dinosaur. Mm-hmm. Like
What?
a brontosaurus.
I don't remember that.
I don't.
But I'm gonna look
I
for
think
it
you're
now.
making that up.
No.
What?
It like swoops. It looks like a brontosaurus neck.
I'm gonna watch for that now.
Yeah, we're gonna be watch for the dinosaur. Noah, who's your? You said.
I already said.
You said, and what did you say?
Charles Leclerc,
Oh, yeah,
second
that's right,
place.
that's Oh well, second place. He's done that a lot more than he would like to.
I think he's done it less than he would like to.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Which I'd also heard this weekend they were talking, or maybe it's before the race even, that somebody did the math on with Ferrari DNFs and bad strategy decisions and all that stuff. Even not even making the best decisions, just not making the worst like they did so much. That Leclerc had lost, I think it was like 120 points
Oh wow.
with bad decisions
Christ.
and technical issues, essentially. Like, not even counting like him, when some of the times he's wrecked or something. That
Yeah.
like that's
Like, he's
his
had
fault.
several mistakes
Just
and
Ferrari
stuff, yeah.
themselves screwing him over.
I noticed it was at qualifying yesterday. There was a fan in the stands that had a sign that said "Ferrari, hire me for your strategy."
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll probably get a call.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be a
I'm
lot
sure they're
better.
exploring all options right now.
I'm waiting on my call because I think I could do it better.
Yeah, Paul's done F1 Manager a lot. And he's
Dude,
ready
I'm,
send
for
him
it.
your
I'm
stats
season
on F1
2026 on F1 Manager.
That's so much. It takes so long to do all that stuff.
Yeah, it does.
But okay, so
it's my favorite game.
So Daniel Ricciardo, Noah for Charles Leclerc to come in second, Paul for Haas/Kevin to do good,
Kevin to
or
points.
Leclerc to not finish.
or Leclerc not finish. Yeah.
Okay, interesting calls on that one.
I think they're all going to be the right ones.
Well, we'll see.
That's why I'm. That's,
That's
why
why
I'm
I
saying.
said. That's why I said.
We'll see in 2 weeks. But so yeah, that's really about all we've got here. You can follow us on Twitter at F1side-pod. Email us if you're interested in sponsoring or whatever. F1sidepod@gmail.com. Noah, if they're gonna review us, what do they say on reviews?
I accidentally clicked on this before I clicked on the one I really wanted, and I actually didn't mind it.
Nice. So say that, review us, rate us, whatever. Tell your friends about us. But we'll see you in 2 weeks. I've been Cody.
I'm Noah.
And I'm Paul.
We'll see you guys later.